The title, The Principles of Economics, serves as the definitive blueprint for understanding how the world functions through the lens of choice, value, and resource allocation. Rather than representing a single volume by a lone individual, this title encapsulates a living tradition of thought that has evolved over centuries to explain the fundamental mechanics of human society. It is the grammar of social science, providing the vocabulary and logic required to decipher everything from personal financial decisions to the shifting wealth of nations. The foundation, the problem of scarcity. At the very heart of any text bearing this title lies the universal conflict of scarcity. The premise is deceptively simple. Human desires are virtually infinite, yet the resources available to satisfy them, time, labor, land, and capital, are strictly finite. A foundational, principles, text transforms this observation into a rigorous analytical framework. It establishes that because we cannot have everything, we must make trade-offs. This leads to the most critical concept in the economic lexicon, opportunity cost. Every choice to pursue one path is, by definition, a choice to abandon another. To understand these principles is to accept that the true cost of an action is not merely the currency exchanged, but the value of the next best alternative foregone. The core pillars of microeconomic logic. A comprehensive exploration of economic principles typically divides the world into two spheres. The first, microeconomics, focuses on the atomic level of society, individuals and firms. 1. Rationality and incentives. The text posits that individuals are rational actors who aim to maximize their utility or well-being. While this doesn't mean humans are emotionless calculators, it suggests that behavior is predictable because people respond to incentives. When the cost of a behavior rises, people do less of it. When the benefits increase, they do more. This simple logic is the engine behind market dynamics. 2. Marginal thinking. One of the most transformative principles is the concept of thinking at the margin. Life's decisions are rarely all or nothing. They are usually about a little more or a little less. A student doesn't decide between studying for 24 hours or 0 hours. They decide whether the next hour of study is worth the loss of an hour of sleep. This marginal utility determines value and explains why water, essential for life, is cheap while diamonds, non-essential, are expensive. 3. The invisible hand of the market. Perhaps the most famous principle is the mechanism of market equilibrium. Through the interaction of supply and demand, markets naturally move toward a point where the quantity offered by sellers matches the quantity desired by buyers. The principles describe how prices act as signals, coordinating the actions of millions of strangers without the need for a central planner. The macroeconomic perspective, the wealth of societies. Moving from the individual to the collective, the text addresses macroeconomics, the study of the economy as a whole. This section provides the tools to measure and influence the health of an entire nation. Productivity and growth, the principle that a society's standard of living depends entirely on its ability to produce goods and services. Innovation and capital investment are the primary drivers of long-term prosperity. The role of institutions, how legal frameworks, property rights, and stable governance provide this soil in which economic activity can grow. Money and inflation, the mechanics of how currency facilitates trade, and the danger that arises when the supply of money outpaces the production of goods, leading to the erosion of purchasing power. Cycles and stability, the recognition that economies do not grow in a straight line but through booms and busts, and the ongoing debate over how much a government should intervene to smooth out these fluctuations. The ethical and philosophical dimension. Beyond the charts and equations, The Principles of Economics is a deeply philosophical work. It grapples with the tension between efficiency and equity. While a market might be efficient, maximizing the total size of the economic pie, it may not be equitable, how the slices are distributed. The text teaches that while markets are a powerful tool for organizing activity, they are not infallible. It introduces market failures, such as pollution, externalities, or monopolies, where the pursuit of private interest harms the public good. In these instances, the principles suggest that government intervention can, in theory, improve social outcomes, though it also warns of government failure, where the cure may be worse than the disease. Why these principles endure? To study these principles is to gain a superpower of perception. It allows an observer to look past the surface-level chaos of the news and see the underlying incentives and structures at play. Whether discussing climate change, healthcare, or technological displacement, the core tenets remains the same. People face trade-offs. The cost of something is what you give up to get it. Rational people think at the margin. People respond to incentives. Trade can make everyone better off. Markets are usually a good way to organize economic activity. Governments can sometimes improve market outcomes. A country's standard of living depends on its ability to produce. Prices rise when the government prints too much money. Society faces a short-run trade-off between inflation and unemployment. Ultimately, the principles of economics is not just about money, it is a profound study of human cooperation and the endless quest to improve the human condition within the boundaries of a finite world.